Well, hey folks, last year I finally caved in and bought myself a new log splitter. And I showed it on my channel when I bought it. And since then I've had a lot of people asking me to do a review on it. Well, I won't do a review on anything until I've used it, and used it a lot. You just can't give a fair assessment otherwise. Well, I've used it, and I've used it a lot. So I'll tell you what I think about it. So what I bought was the Champion 27-ton log splitter. And there she be. And I got to tell you folks, it has been a good investment. So when I bought this last year, brought it home, fueled it up, and I split a lot of wood. An awful lot of wood with it. Really impressed with how it ran. It was powerful. I split all my wood, I rolled it off into the bushes and threw a tarp over it, and it sat there until about a month ago. Okay? I was intending on putting in some fuel stabilizer. I never did that. It just sat there all winter long under a tarp. I was really expecting a struggle to get it started. So I pulled it out, had gas in it, put the choke on. On the fourth pull it started. It ran flawlessly, and I split an awful lot of wood since. One thing that I like about this splitter more than my old Craftsman that I had is it's built heavy duty enough where I don't feel that anything is underbuilt. I feel it's good and strong, it's going to get the job done. But it's not so heavy that it's a bear to move around. Okay? I think it's a nice, happy medium. The old Craftsman I had was heavy duty, and it was heavy to move around. This thing, I can grab it, move it right around wherever I need it, do what I got to do. But again, I don't feel that anything is underbuilt where I got to baby it. You know what I mean? Now right here, okay, where I'm splitting, that holds the other half of the wood. And this piece here, if it's a big chunk, wants to fall down, okay? And right off the bat, I saw all of this stuff, and I go, that's really in harm's way. What I was intending on doing, and I'm still intending on doing it, I just haven't done it yet, is to just build a little shelf that just sits over this, comes up, and protects this. That way, when I'm splitting here, and I got a big chunk of wood, I can let that piece sit there, put this piece on this shelf, get this piece split, pick it right up, and put it here, and all of this should be protected. If a chunk of wood falls and disconnects a hose or puts a hole in my oil filter, I'm going to be out of business until I fix it. I don't need that kind of interruption. So I thought this was kind of bad planning. This should be protected a little bit better. And a little shelf unit right here would do the trick. Now when I first got the splitter and I saw all of this stuff right here, which is really in harm's way because a piece of wood is going to fall here, I was splitting, and that first day I was splitting, look what happened. A piece of wood fell and dented my oil filter, okay? If that would have popped a hole in it, it'd be game over until I got a new oil filter. So I was pretty correct with my thinking on that point, okay? Aside from this, I think the splitter is awesome, okay? And this is an easy fix, like I said. A couple of 2x6s with a 2x4 between them, a little shelf, or made out of steel would be better. It just sits right here. This is protected. That would be an awesome feature for this. So if you were to ask me what I don't like about the splitter, well, what I showed you on the other side, where the components are kind of right there in harm's way, they need something to protect that. I don't like that. I think that was poor design, but it's an easy fix. My biggest gripe, even though they haven't failed me yet, I expect them to do so eventually, is I don't like to see plastic components on a tool, okay? I can't blame Champion for putting plastic on it because even my chainsaws have plastic levers. My Kubota tractor that I had a plastic gas pedal, and in the winter it would get brittle and it would break, and I finally gave up on it, okay? So what I don't like about it is plastic levers. The choke lever is plastic, the throttle is plastic, the on and off is plastic. That little throttle lever sticking out, if I'm working out here in the cold weather, piece of wood falls and it's cold, chances are it's gonna break, okay? What happens to plastic when it's out in the weather? The UV light deteriorates it and it gets brittle. Plastic in cold weather gets brittle, okay? If they would charge me $50 more to put metal levers here, it would be worth the money because I'm not afraid that it's gonna break, okay? These haven't failed me yet, but I think that sooner or later they will. Now this splitter can be run horizontally, like I have it here, or vertically. You just simply pull this pin, grab this pivots up, and that way you don't have to pick up the logs this high. Myself, I prefer to run at this height. Having all the wood down there, you got to continually bend over, and that would be bothersome. But having the option of flipping it up, if I have a monstrous piece that I don't want to pick up this high, it's great to have that option. When it was time for me to pick up a new splitter, I did a lot of shopping around. Looked at lots of different brands, different models. I decided to go with the Champion because I have a few different Champion generators. One of them I've had for probably a decade or longer, and it still works flawlessly. Great price tag, great performance, that's a win-win. So I took a chance with the Champion splitter, and I'm glad I did, okay? I think I paid $9.99 for this here, all right? Quite a bit cheaper than the other things I looked at, and it's working flawlessly for me. It's doing the job, okay? So people wanted my opinion. I think it splits like a Champion. Yeah, so that's my opinion on the Champion 27-ton log splitter. Well, my friends, so far I've been very pleased with the performance of this splitter. The 224cc engine has plenty of power for splitting large rounds with gnarly grain, and the response and return time is sufficient for my needs. Instead of rambling on about run times and fuel capacities, I'll just put the link in the description below so that you can compare the specs to other splitters of similar size and price. If you like what you see here today, please subscribe for future updates. All the best to you all, and God bless.